What's up, guys? George and Ashley back here again for another movie review. We just saw War for the Planet of the Apes, which is the third installment in this epic trilogy, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Andy Serkis, the Nightmare Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And Steve Zahn has a voice, a little ape character in this one.
So before we talk about the third one, I just want to say that I recently watched the first two for the first time ever, and I was completely blown away by them. The first one was such a perfect introduction to them, and then the second one was their like uprising and everything, and the start of the conflict between the humans and the apes. And this one is literally a perfect conclusion.
It really was. I mean, the first two movies are really great in my opinion. They're pretty much just really great films, wholesome films, and this one, in my opinion, is a freaking masterpiece.
I agree.
This film just has so many emotions, so much conflict. I mean, the plot is really... it's in the title, War. You know, it's the war part of the Apes franchise, and it's just, God, it's gut-wrenching, it's beautiful, it's scary, it's
funny in parts.
Yeah, light humor, but it's just overall put together as one just beautifully done movie.
The apes, the CGI for the apes, I didn't think it could get any better than the first and the second one, but it is amazing. The close-up shots of them are just like you're looking at a real animal. The cinematography in general was very well done. The soundtrack was really beautiful. It's hard to talk about this movie without really getting into like spoilers because you don't want to talk about it too much.
No
but
way. Andy Serkis, let me talk about Andy Serkis for a minute. Now, this guy deserves some sort of recognition, an Oscar, whatever you would want to give him, because it's all in the eyes with him and how he animates Caesar with all the motion capture. That is such an underappreciated job because he is Caesar. He is that character. I mean, the CGI is beautiful, but he is the motion, the facial expressions, the eyes, every little slight movement is this guy, and he's fantastic. He really is. Woody Harrelson, I've loved this guy since... since Kingpin, man, since the Farley Brothers comedy, but he is such a great actor, and he plays such a menacing role.
But you do, like, at certain points, you do feel for him. Like, there is a point where I almost felt like, oh, maybe I should be feeling bad for him, but then I'm just like, nope, no.
Well, you want to know what the best kind of villains are in films? The best kind of villains are the ones where you see their perspective. It's not like a Marvel movie or just where a generic where like the villain is, oh, I want the money, it's like,
or I want the world, I want power.
Yeah, I want to rule the world.
This is nothing like
it's
that.
one ridiculous motive. Like, this is...
it's realistic.
You could see, you hate him. You hate the whole human race in this movie.
Yeah.
I've never hated mankind more than I did after watching this. But, you know, you see it through Woody Harrelson's perspective.
About why.
Do you agree with it?
Yeah.
But you could reason behind it because you could understand both perspectives. And Steve Zahn plays a nice little supporting character. He plays one of the apes. And I've always been a huge Steve Zahn fan, too. I mean, Saving Silverman, come on. I love A Perfect Getaway, super underrated. But Steve Zahn, I always appreciated him as an actor. And he brings a slight comedic touch to this film, a little bit of... because this film is not... it's very... not doom and gloom, but it's very dark. And it's very intense. And you're breathing very heavy. And I will say, Steve Zahn's little ape character really... broke the tension slightly, where you could chuckle a little bit and you could it gave you a minute to breathe, because there's not many moments in this film where you could breathe.
Like you felt like you were holding your breath at some points, and then his character would come on and it would give you that chance to think and breathe. I liked his character. I did find him to be a little, not annoying. I feel like his speech was too good to be an ape.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Like, you know, with Caesar, and Caesar's
Yeah.
like, he's the man.
He was more of a human, like a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear. I could see that. I understand that.
But other than that, though,
could.
you're right, though. It was a nice
It
kind
definitely
of...
broke
It broke the tension.
Yeah.
It broke all those feelings.
Yeah.
Gosh, so many feelings.
so many feelings. And the main feeling is you feel for Caesar with his conflict. And it's always been his conflict of, do we stay back and stay contained, stay together?
Do we fight?
Or do we break off and fight? It's another one of those things where you see both sides. What do you do? What would you do? Would you just say F it all and go battle? Or would you be smart and contained and conservative? It's very
back and forth.
It plays with you, man, with your emotions, and so good.
And with his conflict, another thing that he really has to come to terms with and figure out is the fact that he was treated very kindly by humans.
Yes.
And James Franco's character raised him, and
he definitely has a soft spot for humans.
he does, and he doesn't want to kill them. He doesn't want to be at war with them. But, you know, there are other apes in his group that they were treated so badly.
Yeah.
And that's all they know is that
it's-
humans are bad. Humans are bad. So he is really just like, he has no idea at points what to do. And his struggle, you can really see it.
Yeah, and Koba had a little something to do with that in the last film.
Yeah.
But overall, this movie for me, I love the first Apes movie. I think it's great. You cannot pick your favorite. I mean,
a lot of people say that they liked the second one. As I've been reading, because I just watched them for the first time, I think that they're all fairly equal.
they are very...
They're very close.
They are.
And that's because I think
Crazy.
they're all different in their own way, but they all tell this beautiful story.
They really do. And
And-
with that being said, I wouldn't make another one.
No, I
Just
think
for the fact of you have 3 perfect films. I don't think I have really one complaint about this whole trilogy, man. Usually there's one where it's like, ugh, but they're so good and such a beautifully told story. Matt Reeves does a fantastic job.
Well, we were talking about it in the car. We were trying to think of other trilogies in the cinematic history that every single one of them is as good as the other. And it was hard to come up with a trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, you have great trilogies, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
But you have ones that are, the first one is the best, or
Like,
the
there's-
second one is the best.
There's usually one's a clear cut. But this, honestly, it depends what mood you're in for me, which one. If I want a little lighter, a lighter tone.
I'm gonna watch the first one.
Yeah, and if I want to watch more of a popcorn action movie, maybe I watch number 2. But if I want a movie that rips my heart out, I am watching this film right now.
I cried. I had tears in my eyes.
Oh my
and
God.
he had tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I think that
Was
if you didn't have tears in your eyes,
Or at least,
Completely dead
or
inside.
at least heavy breathing, where it's
Yeah,
like,
like-
or it's like, 'cause
I mean, I had tears actually coming down my
Yeah.
cheeks. So it just, so emotional. It effed me up.
yeah,
Effed me up.
but I love movies that hit you in the feels. I love my fun popcorn superhero or Vin Diesel flying. I love those movies, but a movie that really toys with your emotions and makes you feel, especially for someone that's dead inside, it's a credit to just the overall filmmaking. The world is just so immersive, and you just feel like you're there. You feel like you're one of these apes just trying to survive. Man, not enough positive things can be said about this one.
I know.
So I'm just gonna say it. A+++++++++++++. This is, take my favorite movie of the year so far and add this much on top of it. This is blew me away. Completely blew me away. What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it an A- just because I feel like, I don't know why. Maybe it should be an A+, but I feel like if I give it an A+, then I am literally saying it is my favorite movie of the year, and I don't think it is. It's definitely my top 5, so I'm gonna give it an A-. But as far as trilogies go, this is pretty perfect.
Yeah.
And this was a perfect conclusion to this trilogy.
Oh man, go see it.
Can't wait to see it again.
For a big blockbuster film, blockbuster films are usually cookie cutter, generic, you know what you're getting.
No, completely unique.
This was very unique and unpredictable. Really unpredictable. You didn't see anything that was coming at least in my opinion, so I just gotta add that. Heart-pounding, tragic, beautiful, little funny, just action-packed. God, just go see this movie and then just think about your life, and you will hate your human race after this. You will hate your own kind for sure.
Definitely. If you didn't already, you definitely will.
Oh, you will now. But, alright guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. We really appreciate it. And just for overall supporting the channel.
Give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.